What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the most idiotic person in the world, Jake Paul. So there's a couple things I want to talk about him. The first video we're going to look at first of all, you could already tell this kid's never boxed in his life. I think he even said he didn't even box in his life. Let's see how much of a prick Jake Paul is. Let's see if he goes all try-hard mode. Just watch this fight. You see that, bro? My man's going all in. My man's going all in on him, dude. All in. Never boxed in his life. At least Jake Paul had some training, I'd say. Well, he did have training, but still a trash boxer. Look at this kid. Dude, he's just punching him in a corner. You could already tell he's dazed. And you're just going all in on him like, yeah. And his squad's hyping him up. Look at that. He's dazed. He's walking around, dude. What an idiot. Like, you could obviously tell he's like, I know it's a boxing match, I know he challenged him, but he's never boxed in his life. You've trained at least a little bit, and you've gotten 2 professional-ish boxing matches, and you're not going any easy, dude. You know he hasn't boxed. Look at him. Look at his arm, dude. Look at his arm, dude. You're going all in on him, dude. And his squad's like, oh, he beat up a kid that doesn't know any boxing skills, dude. What a gangster.
Hey, he lasted longer than Gibbs. Kind of embarrassing.
I just noticed Jake is acting all tough, not wearing headgear.
Oh my god, dude. I gotta show respect to Jake, man. The kid hits hard. You gotta respect it. At the same time, I jumped in the ring.
This kid's a good sport. He's like, guys show respect and shit. Like, I respect him for that. But Jake, nope. No respect. Going ham on this kid. So, I'm gonna give you some backstory. Jake Paul was spotted in Scottsdale, I'm pretty sure, in Arizona. I live in Arizona. Pretty disgraced that he came to my state. But anyway, he was spotted Scottsdale, Arizona, a mall in Scottsdale, looting. Well, he said not looting. He said he wasn't near anybody looting, which is bullshit. He was looting. Not looting itself, but he's near people looting. And he made a video on it. He already made a statement.
Probably saw I became the #1 trending topic on Twitter. People were mad at me
No shit.
because they assumed that me and my friends were looting, vandalizing, and breaking down storefronts. And that's the way it looked on camera. However, that is...
Well, you weren't, but your friends were. Some of your accomplices, or Ari's 12 seconds into the video, Ari's starting rough.
Isn't the case, and
Ari
there's a lot
lying.
more to not only that story, but there's tons of other issues and things that we need to address about what's going on with America right now. I just want to dive in immediately to say what happened to George Floyd isn't okay and there needs to be change. There's no room in America for police brutality and racism. The fact that people still have a mindset to treat other people differently based on their skin color is absurd. And as someone who is a believer in change and making change, and someone who wants to take action, social media, which I've done, it's easy just to donate to a cause, which I've done. But I'm the type of person who wants to be ground floor and involved in the change.
He just flexed on us. He's such a... I'm sorry. Oh. Let's watch that back.
It personally upsets me when people have the power to make a difference and they don't. It's easy to just post something on social media, which I've done. It's easy just to donate.
Just a subtle flex. Yeah, 5,000 in the bank. Which is good, but like, no need to show it. And be like, oh, look how much I've done. 5,000. Look how much I've done. Like, there's no
to a cause, which I've done. But I'm
to
the type
bring
of
this
person who
point
wants
up.
to be ground floor and involved in the change firsthand. And this situation to me felt no different from when I went down to help with the hurricanes in Houston, to when I went to Parkland, Florida to be ground floor with the students.
Again, no reason to bring this up. This has no
There after
relevancy
they had a horrific school shooting.
to what
When I was a
happened in
kid, I
Scottsdale.
constantly volunteered for
Just point
organizations,
that out.
donated to charitable causes, and wanted to be involved in my community. And this George Floyd tragedy wasn't something that I could just look past. And being a filmmaker and someone who documents virtually everything that happens in my life to be able to share it with the world, I wanted to use my platform and film what was going on and what is going on in our country as we speak, to be able to share and spread the message to the world and raise awareness that we shouldn't just be standing there doing nothing. So when we heard that there was protests that were going to be taking place in Arizona, we wanted to be involved
That was not a protest. That was a
and
riot.
show our support. The story of what happened is actually pretty simple, and it was twisted and exploited by the media to be something that it wasn't. Right around 10 p.m. when the protests were supposed to be starting, we followed people to where everyone said that the protests were happening. As we started to walk down the street, we were blown away by what we were starting to see. The first thing I saw was when I looked to the right and saw that the side of a mall window had been completely shattered. Then as we kept on going, we noticed that all of the buildings in the whole entire area, the glass was completely shattered. Quite frankly, I was in shock and didn't know what to make of the situation. But we kept on walking because we still hadn't seen where people were protesting and we still wanted to be involved. We got to a street that seemed to be
So, you just walk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure with all the money you have, you at least have a GPS on your phone. Or Google. You could look up. Everybody has Google on their phone, if they have a phone. You could look up protests going on right now in Scottsdale, Arizona. You want to be involved in the riots. So, I really don't know.
be the center of where everything was going on. And that's when I saw probably 80 cops standing shoulder to shoulder, just like looking out into the crowd. As I was approaching, more people were gathering the protest, and about 200 yards down the street from me was an Apple store that was getting completely ransacked. I saw dozens of people breaking down the glass, running into the store, grabbing whatever they could, and leaving. The battalion of cops was in between me and the Apple store. And as I started to walk down the street more, all of a sudden out of nowhere I hear a boom, and see this thing flying in the air at my feet. It lands 2 feet away from me, explodes, and like this big gas cloud.
I wonder why. Because, what you said, a couple blocks down, or I don't know what he said. I'm not really paying attention because it's going out one ear and the other because it's bullshit. But there's an Apple store being ransacked, right? They probably think you're going over there, and that doesn't look very peaceful. Is breaking into an Apple store. That's not protesting. So what they did was tear gas you so you could go away from the situation and not rob any more businesses. Because like you said, there was a mall with a broken window. and obviously looted. So the cops' job is to protect and serve. So they tear gassed you so no more businesses would get robbed.
Loud comes, hits me in the side of the face. I start choking, coughing, running backwards, and was completely in shock at what the fuck had just happened. Here I am, just a person walking down the street, and all of a sudden I'm getting tear gas shot.
Like I said, there's a ransack, like you said, at Apple Store. And so they don't want any more people going to other businesses to rob.
Out at me. This is when I got pissed the fuck off. This must just be a small fraction of what people are facing.
You got pissed the fuck off. You got pissed the fuck off. Dude, I wonder how the store owner feels of the mall and the Apple Store. I wonder how they feel. Or the small business owners. They're the ones that are affected the most from this rioting. Because they're not a big corporation. They can't put back in stock everything that they have. They can't. Because they started from the bottom. And now they're at where they're at. Right? But that's all down the drain. Because people want to riot and protest.
Facing on a day-to-day basis with police. As I started to retreat, there was 3 more canisters of tear gas shot at me and the group of people around us. At that point in time, not only was I pissed, not only was I in shock and not able to really see because my eyes were fucked up, but I just didn't know what the fuck to do, and I was documenting
Go back home.
the whole entire thing. At that point in time, some of the strangers around us got pissed off as well and started throwing rocks and started throwing the tear gas back at the cops.
This is why they throw the tear gas at the first place. They probably weren't protesting, peaceful protesting. They're probably the ones looting. Because what normal person would be like, oh, there's tear gas grenade right here. Let's throw it right back at the cops. Or you know what? The cops are so pissed off right now. Let's just not go. Let's just throw rocks right at them. And then, oh, I got shot with the rubber bullet. Oh, I'm going to post this all over Instagram now.
Adrenaline still pumping, not knowing what the fuck is going on, I remove myself from that situation and go across the street. This is where I find about 15 people breaking down the front of a...
You said you removed yourself from the situation. But you go to a riot. You're still in the same situation, just with different people and your friends.
In my fucking life. Some kid came up to me and asked me if I needed a first aid kit and offered me milk to pour into my eyes.
No, some of them. Because they obviously have, I think, probably $300, $400 cameras. So, you know, some of them.
To help with the tear gas. Another girl's breaking down the front of the store. People are inside of it, trashing it, stealing stuff from the inside. Meanwhile, throughout this chaos, half of the group that we were with got separated and we were trying to locate them and find them. During all this confusion, chaos, sensory overload, sirens, things exploding, someone comes up to me while I'm filming, just hands me something. I didn't even know what it was at the time.
Someone hands you something that you don't know and you don't know them. Why would you grab it? You idiot. Either he's lying, Jake Paul's lying, or he's just a dumbass. I'm pretty sure it's a combination of both.
To later find out that someone handed me a bottle of vodka for what reason, I don't know. Seconds later, I set the bottle on the ground, still not even knowing what it is, and I continue to document what the fuck was going on. At that point in time, we decided to remove ourselves from the chaos and make our way back towards our car to go home. However, the police had dozens and dozens of officers on each street corner, blocking off certain streets and not allowing people to go down certain areas. After about a half a mile of walking, we see another battalion of cops and decide to go right, away from them and towards the mall. As we approach the mall, I see one of the most absurd things I've ever seen in my life. Hundreds of people running in and outside of the mall with bags, stealing everything inside of the mall. In hindsight, everything's 2020 and we shouldn't have been anywhere near what was going on, and we should have...
Why? I thought you were removing yourself from the situation, but it looks like you're actually going towards the mall.
removed ourselves from the situation. But in the heat of the moment, I wanted to document what was going on.
You keep saying you want to document it, but I'm pretty sure you're not the one holding the camera. Pretty sure your friends are. I'm pretty sure you're just like looking at everything.
And witness it for myself.
And where'd you post the footage? If you want to document it for purposes, right? For any purpose, where'd you post it? Because it's not on your YouTube channel, obviously. It's not anywhere on your social media accounts. So is it just for you? Just so you could be like, oh, that was a fun time to look back on the footage?
That's where I made the poor decision to go inside of the mall. And at the time, my mindset was that I wanted to document this experience because
Keep saying you want to document. You probably just want to see what's going on, not document it. And you said it is a poor decision, obviously. 5 minutes, 7 seconds, haven't even said sorry.
I've never seen anything like it in my life, and I don't know if anything will ever happen like this again in our lifetime.
I'm just here to document it. I'm not doing nothing.
First of all, the vandalism and looting isn't helping spread the proper message. It's making the whole entire situation worse because it creates this loop and effect of more hatred and more crime. There has been peaceful protests, and that just hasn't worked. That hasn't gotten the
You just contradict everything you just said. You said the riots and the looting will spread just more hatred and doesn't do anything for the community. But right now you're saying peaceful protesting hasn't done anything. They haven't done anything. So you just contradicted your entire statement, which I think is funny.
message across. But we are a young generation with social media, and we are powerful, and our voices are powerful. And together we can make a difference. I don't have the answers. I don't know if anyone has the exact answers, but I don't think looting, vandalizing, and breaking people's property is the way to go about this. What I do like is the accountability that this generation holds other people to. We can, with our voices, get an officer arrested for killing someone in a tragic way. We did that. We accomplished that. We can't start to focus on the district attorneys that are in office, the sheriffs, the chiefs of police. We can make a difference through voting the proper leaders into our government. This is what's happening. This is our America. And right now is not the time to attack each other. Right now it's time to evolve and make change as a unit. And all those businesses who are being vandalized and broken into, who were just holding on by a thread because they already didn't have enough money to pay their employees because of coronavirus and quarantine, are now even more in ruins because of the vandalism that
Then why did you go to the riots, dude? This whole video is just... You're just contradicting everything you just said in the first couple minutes of your video.
they have to deal with now. There was an old handicapped grandma crying on the news because her local grocery store was completely ransacked and it's the only one in the area and she couldn't get any food. How does the destruction of property help this situation? And what does it look like for our communities to be able to come back and have to rebuild from all of this? And that's why the situation was so upsetting for me to wake up, #1 trending on Twitter, of people accusing me of vandalizing and looting and stealing.
All you did was go and document, I'm doing air quotes by the way, the situation for your own personal use, because you didn't post any of the footage anywhere. If you probably posted it and be like, this is part of the problem, and like tell everybody what you're telling them now, like it's not helping anybody, it's just spreading hate and possibly more crime. Well, not possibly, it is spreading more crime, but if you do that instead of making excuses for yourself like you're doing in this video, you probably won't get as much hate as you do. You most likely wouldn't. But all you're doing is spreading misinformation, because I know you're lying, dude. Everybody knows you're lying. And then in your first statement, that first paragraph that you typed, never said sorry. This video, never said sorry. And then the videos that have been posted over the internet shows you're encountering people, and most likely probably friends with them. You're encountering them and possibly friends with them, vandalizing and looting and rioting. So I don't know what else to say, but you're a prick, you're a dick. Fuck yourself.
I'ma fuck up my life.